You're listening to It Takes a Village podcast with
Liberty,
Megan,
and Brianna, where you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be you. Hello, welcome to It Takes a Village podcast. I'm Brianna, and today you are joining us in the studio of KWSB 91.1, The Penguin. We're here at Western filming in their radio station studio, and we could not be more grateful for them giving us this space and the exposure and the equipment. We love our first sponsor, and we are so grateful for Western and KWSB.
Thank you.
Thanks for paying my salary.
And then if you guys could give us a follow on our Instagram, it's ITA_village_pod. That's where you're going to find some clips of our episode, but also which guests we're going to have on the episode, when new episodes are dropping, all sorts of new information, and a place to give your feedback. So please do give us a follow there. It's really important to be able to interact with us on kind of a daily, day-to-day basis so you understand what's coming up next, and then can get your listens in here. But feedback will come through Instagram. So
yeah,
please
I challenge you right now, unless you are driving. If you do not follow us and you are listening to this message on the podcast episode, then open up Instagram or whatever, Facebook, follow
Head on
us.
over. Give
in
us
one
a
place.
follow.
Just in one place.
Yeah.
Not in all of them.
Okay, I have to admit, I didn't even know we had a Facebook, and I only just started following it like 3 days ago.
That's not okay. Don't be Megan. Please find our Facebook. Please find our Instagram. It's
don't
really
use Facebook.
important information
And
comes
even
out
TikTok
Yeah.
we have, which I'm the least familiar with. But
there. We do
Same.
have a TikTok. It is not as crucial. Instagram is going to be your crucial follow. So ITA_village_pod, and you can send us all of your feedback that you want through our link tree. You can find a lot through our link tree. So please check it out.
You popped up as a suggested friend.
Oh my
Our
God.
podcast popped up as a, and I was like, oh, I should follow it on Facebook.
Great suggestion.
So, this is just saying, don't feel that bad, but get on it.
Yeah. Don't miss announcements. And questions. We prompt our listeners with questions all the time, so we'd love to hear from you. Today, in our last episode, we talked about Are We Okay? Kind of the impact of social pressures, how we felt as a human, becoming a parent, and the grief and loss we experienced upon becoming a parent. We ended the last episode with that. So today, we're going to dive into what that grief and loss honestly looks like, what motherhood and identity looks like, what it looks like across your friendships, your careers, your relationship. And I do want to let you know, before we dive in, that we will be diving deeper, a lot more into this mental load, how it affects your relationship. Mm-hmm. This is going to be an entire episode. So we'll touch on it a little bit today. And if you feel like we didn't talk about it enough, same. And we're going to have an entire episode devoted to what this mental load breakdown looks like and what it does to your relationship. So we'll touch on that a little bit today. We'll talk about friendships. We'll talk about careers. But first, let's give an update before we dive into the serious. Who has a good one? Okay, I'll start. Okay, so my most exciting update is, I suppose by the time this is airing, I've had a photo show. And this is the first photography show I've had in 20 years. God, 20 years. So this is the medium I studied and got a degree in. I have a degree in studio art, but with an emphasis in photography. And I haven't put on a show until freshly after I graduated that program. And it's been a really long time since I've reconnected with the medium. And honestly, really wonderful. Relearning. I'm doing everything for this show on film. So I'm developing black and white negatives and printing black and white prints. And this is the first time I've been in that medium, and I don't know how long, a really long time. And being able to rediscover that for myself has been really magical, because it's the first thing that made me fall in love with the world, how light hits the world. It made me fall in love with art. Photography was my in to art. And so getting to kind of face those questions and re-engage with it has been like a life force for me that I didn't realize I was missing. And getting to shoot it and relearn how to use a light meter and trust my own instincts and pull all the knowledge I know from great photographers and actually making it art. For me, what it's always come down to is how you compose that photograph, what happens in that moment your shutter goes off, and being able to reconnect with that has been really special, especially since photography has just flooded our worlds. Everyone can do it with their camera or with their phone. So being able to reconnect with what made it art has been like a life force for me. And getting to do this show has been really important and tied back a part of me from literally when I was 15 that I didn't realize was missing. And I'm just blissed out, honestly, creating it, printing it, making it.
This is so relevant to the episode. Because you're like coming
so
back
funny
to a
'cause-
part of yourself.
Yeah, that I've left for a very, very long time.
It's funny because I've been thinking about getting back into it.
Yeah.
So I also have a degree in photography.
Yeah.
And I also,
I don't.
and in high school, I got into it in high school and they let me in early, even though I wasn't old enough yet.
Yeah.
And then I won the photography award and I
Yeah.
just really, really loved it.
That really intimidated me about Megan when I
and
first
then
met her.
I don't know, I just miss being in the dark room.
Yeah.
And then doing photography, and I just haven't done it in so long that part of me is like afraid of using the camera that I have that is
it
filming
feels
right now.
good.
Where I'm like, I don't even think I remember how to use it right. But
You will, and it feels good.
it's something I need to get back into. Because I
And there
just
is
felt
a
so much
something-
joy creating that.
There is a something in
I
the
know.
creation, in the composing. There is so
And
much
honestly,
art happening when you
what
are
I think-
clicking the shutter.
I think what I miss the most is the darkroom piece, because doing it on a screen is just not the same.
It really hurts to not be able to do it in the dark room the way I used to.
I know.
And like having to give that process, certain parts of the process over to other
Dipping
people.
my fingers in those chemicals that gave me
I know.
cancer.
The smell. The smell in the back of your throat.
That was so bad for you.
I miss it.
I know.
Yeah, I've had to outsource a lot of parts of the art that
Yeah.
used to be mine to own, and that's weird and hard. But that is
So
also
then you're shooting in color and then transferring.
No,
it?
I'm shooting in
you're
black and white.
Are you shooting on film?
Yeah,
Ugh.
I know.
I still have my old film.
I'm shooting
camera
on film
too. It's so good.
from the camera I learned on. My dad gave me this
Yes.
camera. It's a Pentax from the
That's
70s.
what my mom had.
Yeah, I'm shooting on a Pentax. No other angles. It's a one angle lens, and I'm shooting on this
Yes.
old
the little 35
camera.
mil.
Yeah,
That's what I have at home too.
and
It's so great.
honestly, I'm just loving it. Like
I have
it
an
is
old
the most
Minolta.
root. I have an old Minolta.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Cameras. It's just like it's very much getting back to the basics before like a lot of stuff clouded my art education.
Oh,
Way to go, Brianna.
That's really
when does the
important.
show open, or is it already?
August 7th.
Well, there you go. August
Yeah.
7th, mark your calendars. Gunnison Arts Center.
Yep,
Upstairs, downstairs.
upstairs.
Upstairs.
Nancy
Yes.
Treadway Gallery.
Do it. Everyone go.
It's
Everybody
called
go.
Glimmer. Please go. Please buy a
Okay.
print.
Yay.
I need the money.
I do. Which we'll get into on this episode.
Was the moment of getting back into it, was it like, I don't know, I just think of this like feeling you get when you like reacquaint yourself with something that you loved when you were younger.
It was
And you're
honestly
like,
scary.
Oh, I can still do this. Because I think of that moment, if anyone's familiar with the movie Amelie, where she sticks, or I don't remember if it's
She
her.
sticks her
She
hands
sticks
in
her
the
hand down
seeds, in the
into-
beans.
Yeah, or whatever rocks.
the
Or,
dried. It's probably lentils, but yeah.
yeah. And you just
the
feel like,
market.
like this like light, and you're aligned, and you're just like, oh, this is me.
Yeah.
Like this is what brings me joy.
And it
brings me to a
always has
specific
been.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's win.
Congrats, Brianna.
Thank you.
Yeah.
August 7th.
I didn't have a very significant update other than there's part of me that's like going through a little bit of a struggle right now with like unpeeling layers of things in therapy. It's all good. It's just hard right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like work and like when you're going through change, it like inevitably impacts your relationships, whatever they are, and my partnership. And so it's just like a lot. I'm just trying to like figure things out right now. But I don't think I want to take it any further than that right now because I'm just in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's
But-
okay.
So I've just lost my sense of like routine, and I really need to get back into it because I thrive in that, but it's the hardest thing for me to do. So that's always a fun paradox. Aside from that, a little bit on in the same vein, that's what I feel like with singing, and my version of art is not photography, but singing. And for the longest time, I've just been doing like karaoke when I can and like open mics if I'm feeling really brave. But that hasn't even happened in a while. And so I felt really disconnected from that version of myself. I have for a long time, like just tried and started and stopped and all these different things. And something that made me feel really empowered and like that moment where you like do I know how to do this anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Not to get, I got to record my voice for like this very small snippet of background music on something that Brianna's husband's working on. So
It's
for
a film.
movie.
She's in a film. She recorded
I'm
her
in a
voice
movie.
for a film.
You
could say it full
and technically
breath.
Your voice is also in it.
Yes, I am also in the film.
Yeah. But yeah, I walked into that booth or like his studio and I was like, am I a singer? Can I even do this? I want to leave. But it just like gave me confidence and then made me go, oh, that's all singing. I mean, there's a lot more to like bigger productions and things like that. But it was ultimately just like, this is how I stand in front of a microphone and I record my voice and I am able to like meet the requirement of what is being asked of me. And I'm able to do that with my voice. And I was worried about like sounding a certain way or like what style I was going to do. And I was like, no, just like go with the flow and we'll take a couple. It just like
She
trial and
knocked
error
it out of the park. By the way.
trial and error it. And then it worked great. And I just felt really good afterwards. And it opened a door into my brain that was like, hey, maybe you could do this. Maybe you could try to put more effort into like using this credit and doing whatever background vocals, not for monetary reasons.
And it's
just
that spark.
for whatever. It's the spark reason. It's like just keeping it alive in a more real way that it's giving back to me instead of just feeling like, oh, I'm doing the bare minimum of what I can to keep this in my life, which will happen. And I'm sure it'll ebb and flow that way. I still want to do karaoke. It's really fun. But it was nice to do something that wasn't a song that I'd already rehearsed and known and sang in front of people. And it was just my voice. And I was like, oh, I like this. So it was inspiring and awesome. And all of us still have our spark in us, whatever it is for you. And if you haven't found it yet, like that's also fine.
And if
It
you're
takes a
scared you
while.
can't do it again, it may be a little uncomfy for like a few minutes, but you can.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, that's mine.
Yay!
Yay for both of us. Trying
Yay.
to find
See,
a
I
spark.
didn't know you guys did that. Our updates. My update is my husband and I are buying a business.
That's a big one.
I know.
That's major.
We're buying Amazing Glamping Adventures. Yay.
Congratulations.
And just kind of
congratulations.
waiting until everything gets finalized. So maybe by the time this episode airs, it's actually happening. But yeah, so we're going to be running like a camper rental business out of Gunny, which is cool. I think it'll be great.
More than just a camper. Tell them the name. Tell them the slogan.
If you would like to.
We're going to probably rebrand and we want to call it West End Camping. We bring adventures to you. And essentially our guests will rent or book the site and then they tell us where to go and then we will bring the camper to you and then set you up and then you just have your weekend and then we pick them up and we manage and maintain all of these campers and
They bring it to you, friends.
bring the campers to you so you
So
can
you
bring your
literally-
gear and you can bring your groceries but you don't have to bring a camper, which
you
is nice.
book the weekend and they will come meet
Check it
you at the campsite with your camper.
Which
It's
is
amazing.
great.
Do it.
Yeah.
West End?
West End Camping.
West End Camping. Please look it up because holy bougie camping experience. They just bring the hard part to you. I told Megan this
Yeah.
when she first took this on. The most stressful points in my camping childhood I can remember is my dad trying to back the camper up into our spot. Like the whole rest of the weekend would be beautiful and magical, but that moment was so stressful and they will do it for you.
Leave
Yes,
it
we
to the
will.
professionals at West End Camping.
So this will be kind of crazy with Tyler probably working 2 jobs for a while and then me just trying to get used to the new schedule and having him around more maybe. It's going to be weird.
You'll get used to it.
But also like getting my mornings back where it's not just me at home because somebody has to be home because he leaves for work so early. So
Yeah.
it's going to be kind of funky. It's going to be great. So we're excited and hoping it's going to take off and that'll just be our lives. Meanwhile, I will still be working at Western because
And still
have
be doing
to-
the podcast.
still have to have a job and still need to do something that brings me joy. So here we are.
Yeah.
Yay! Whoop, whoop.
Big yay.
I know.
Yay.
So the theme of this episode is talking about motherhood and identity, your loss of it, your gaining of it, what happened to it after you gave birth.
I feel like immediately you know that it's never going to be the same, but you don't know how. So like you get home with this baby and you're like in shock kind of and excited and relieved. And then over time you're so focused on the baby that I feel like you're not even thinking about yourself for a little while.
No.
Except for like your weird diaper situation.
That, yes. But I do feel like someone explained this to me really well. Actually, I think it might have been Evan. I was trying to explain to my kid, Evan, what new parenthood feels like. And I was like, it's like everything is the same but different. And he was like, are you in the upside down?
Oh my God, it is the upside down.
It's the upside down. Everything looks the same but different. Like your world still, your house is still your house. Your husband is still your husband, but it's the upside down. You don't know any of the systems or
There's
what
monsters
is lurking. Yeah. It is completely unknown and upside down for a minute. And there's an identity loss in that. There really is.
Yeah. And you don't really, I think it's imbalanced. Like there's a loss and then you don't feel the gain for a while.
And or need to gain.
So you feel like you're in this like place of.
What's that movie with Amy Adams? Is it Amy Adams?
Enchanted?
No. Yeah, well, yes. Boy, do I wish it was like Enchanted.
Oh, the one about her becoming a mom.
When she's like, what's that movie
Oh,
called?
the dog one.
Where she's like a wolf or something.
The dog.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I
It
never
says
actually
bitch
saw
in
it.
It has
Oh,
bitch
me
in it.
neither. But
What is
it's
it
like,
You
there
ready to
is
look
a
it?
scene.
Yeah, let's look it up.
I'm going to look
Yeah,
it up.
look it up. There's a scene where her husband, like they're having an argument and says, where did my wife go? And
She
she
died,
screams,
right?
I died on that table. Like,
yeah.
that's not her physically talking about her dying.
Night bitch.
It's her night bitch. Yes.
That's what it is.
It's her like explaining how herself, who she is,
Her identity.
died
Yeah.
during labor.
And we all felt
Yeah.
that. We felt that
Yes.
deeply.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a whoosh of hormones, and you say, shit, I'm gone.
And I remember honestly, like throughout my child, there's so much you do before you give birth to that child. Be careful about what you think you would do or how you think you would parent. Just don't voice it out loud, okay? You're going to be proven wrong. So during my pregnancy, I remember, like, I'm aware that this drop off is coming. I'm aware that people talk about losing themselves, that women feel like they lose themselves to motherhood. I'm like, that will never be me. I love art. I love music.
strong
I
enough.
love my friends. Like, I'm not going to stop going to the dime for whoever is playing. I'm not going to stop making art. You have all of these very high ideas of how you will remain intact. And the long and short of it is you all get turned upside down.
Turnt.
Yeah. Like parts of you can bring back to being intact, but you all get turned upside down. No person, no man or woman is unaffected by birthing a child. Your world turns upside down.
And if you don't learn to let go of that and be okay with it,
Yeah.
I feel like that is the space where resentment grows.
Yes. Towards your kid
against
and your
child
spouse.
and your spouse. Because you hold these standards of this isn't my life and who I am anymore, so why can't you fit that anymore?
Yeah. And who it's supposed to, like who
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, it's weird. This weird, like, I'm gonna will this into
Yeah.
existence
Yeah.
attitude that I think is a little American, like bootstrappy.
Yeah.
Like you can just figure it
Bootstrappy.
out. You know about it, and you can. So you're aware of it, therefore you can do something about it. But
And this
I feel
idea
like
of
the
when are you
doing
gonna-
something about it? Not possible for a while.
Not for a while.
You can. It's just later, and you have to live in this space of uncertainty for a long time, and that's really tough.
And this American idea of get back to. When will you get back to who you were?
Go back
When
to
will
work.
your
Go back to
body
your
get
body.
back to? There is no back to.
Yeah.
You, like Amy Adams said in the movie,
Died on
you're
that
who you
table.
were before died on that table.
I feel like partner conversations can sometimes get real sticky too. Like really, like they have these expectations, and they're like, "Well, you don't." Oh, they'll like, "Do you don't take care of yourself anymore?" Type thing that can occur.
Where they
Like,
feel
well,
like there's
you're
ample
not.
space in their lives to still do so.
Mm-hmm.
We did talk about that loss a lot, like during our break, where
Yeah.
in this new transition, especially on the women, there feels this extreme pressure to kind of 100% sacrifice who you are for the sake of your kid and your family and everything operating smoothly that I don't know exists fairly across genders and partners, where I couldn't find a minute to take a shower alone, but your husband could go out and like play golf for 3 hours. or
Yeah.
go to the gym for 3 hours. But you literally can't find
do
But
time.
if
anything
you
for
do
longer
that,
than
you
30
should be
minutes.
guilty because you're
Yeah.
not being a good mom.
And you literally can't find time to like hygiene.
I know.
Brush my teeth,
Yeah.
which I already struggle with.
Yes.
Are we not all still struggling with flossing? Like it's that times 10.
I know.
It's just built in all the time.
I
I actually obsessively love to floss, but it's
where
just
I
amazing.
feel the
Fantastic.
most
You can
grief
see it.
is for that time alone.
Yeah,
Because I
it's
feel
the
like
guilt.
I still do a lot of the things I love, not as often as I
Right,
used to.
yeah.
I still do them. I'm just doing them with Avery. Because if I don't do them with her, I feel guilt for leaving her at home.
exactly. And if you've like shut out everyone to do it yourself, can you fully enjoy it while you're doing it? Or do you just feel like a horrible person for creating those circumstances? And I feel like there is such an expectation on women to maybe want to. Like, you shouldn't want to do all of the things you used to because you are a mother now and because this is what
Like,
you
why
get
haven't
to
you
do.
let go of your desires?
Yeah.
Aren't you so much more fulfilled because this was your true meaning
You're like,
in
why
life?
would you want to go paddleboarding without your kid?
It's that narrative of like, well, you chose this.
Yeah.
That is so detrimental. It can be true in the sense that
Yes.
statement is true, but like the behind it, the undertone and the judgment behind that statement.
You didn't
is
choose to
like,
completely lose yourself.
the hell.
I'm going to catch it too.
I know. Sorry, I'm yawning.
No,
it
it's all
can be
good.
true, but it doesn't have to be your reality.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't mean what it sounds like it means. Like, it can be true that you did choose that, and you still need more.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay.
And it's still okay to want more
Yeah,
than just
like,
that.
that doesn't have to mean this or that. Yeah. Anyway, black and white and thinking never helps in any of this.
Wait, I don't get it. Can you give a specific? I lost where we are.
Oh, of what?
What you're talking about.
This is good.
I truly lost
We're
it.
talking about the statement of like, well, you chose this,
Right.
right? And that might
So, like,
be
ergo,
true
you
that
shouldn't
did choose
paddleboard
that.
anymore?
Or like you have no right to complain because you chose to have a kid.
Okay.
So why are you complaining about having a
The
kid
loss.
and what that means?
Right. Okay. I see.
And it's like, okay, well, I can have chosen this, as did we as a partnership,
Right.
but I can still want more than I have right now.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to want things. And I think that getting to that place where you're like, I can ask for things feels really unnatural because you've been in a place of I'm serving this baby, I'm serving this family, I'm
Yes.
sacrificing. And you don't always have time to take stock of what all of it means and like how
And
you
it
feel
gets
about
confusing and you feel guilty for asking for anything.
it. Yeah. The guilt thing is
Yeah. Even if you're fine letting your partner have it, like shifting it towards what you need can be so extraordinarily difficult.
yeah. So you feel like a different person.
Yeah. You are a
That's where
different
a lot
person.
of it comes from.
And it's impossible to communicate because nobody really understands it.
It's true. And it's
I haven't
impossible
figured
to
that out yet.
Well, so we were talking about this during the break. They're still with the 4 and 5-year-olds. I have had time.
Yeah.
My kid is 12, and these things are starting to implement back into my life, who I am, what I care about, and how I put them back into me being Evan's mom. Sam is an artist. I am an artist. We, at the very beginning of, well, our marriage, but really having a kid, that brought it to it. So I am a fine visual artist, and Sam is a composer. And obviously there's more money in the film industry. So his creative career was going to earn us more money than mine was. So that meant I became the stabilizer worker in the family. At 3 months, I had to go back to work. I went to work at a bank. So my husband continued on film scoring, and I entered into literally whatever practical field I could find that would get us health insurance. So I started at the bank, and that's kind of been my MO since. I did get the pleasure of having a passion job for 3 years. 3 years. I worked at the Gunnison Art Center, and it was bliss. The job description, everything I ever wanted to do. I was a curator. I was helping other artists. I was running the shop. It was everything I ever wanted career-wise. Unfortunately, stability-wise, it was not. There weren't benefits. There wasn't health insurance. There wasn't fair compensation because it was a nonprofit. All of that became quite heartbreaking because I realized that really, truly pursuing my passions was not going to stabilize my family the way it needed. And that if my husband was going to continue pursuing his, we would need stability. So I entrenched myself in marketing. That's what I do currently. That's what I'm paid for. That's my paid position and job. And it's fine. It's not my passion. It has been a great sacrifice to be. I was telling the girls earlier, it's like the fin on your paddleboard. You're the one stabilizing things. You're the one making sure you're going in the right direction, making sure you're not tipping over. Unfortunately, it does mean you are the one leaving your passions behind. And it's been hard. It still is. It still is exactly the same scenario.
Yeah. And I mean, I just can't help but think about how this is different in other places that offer different support. Because what not having social systems or social support does in these situations with families, and what we're trying to go in our whole mission, like building community, is because of that lack of community and support, which pushes you into these trade-off decisions that really harm your like sense of self and sometimes
And
your relationship
yeah.
in ways that are sometimes irreparable. And so it's just all unnecessary.
But they're really in the current system. There is no way to avoid it. There absolutely has to be one of us.
No shame on anyone in that position.
Yeah, there has to be one of us stabilizing. There has to be.
This podcast would be very different in Europe.
Yeah.
Certain countries.
It'd be like, we have mostly a village.
It'd be like, I didn't give up shit. Well, I'm sure they still do.
No,
but yeah, as an
do.
American, we were very,
They
and
do.
two American artists married together. We were very faced, still are, with a very difficult decision. And we discuss it openly because it is grounds for resentment. And so we discuss that resentment openly. He hates that his industry pays a creative more than mine. He hates that his is the one that should be given the leeway because it has the opportunity for more money. Like, he loves that he gets to still create music, but the fact that it stops me from making art hurts Sam. It does. But it doesn't make this reality any less of our reality. One of us has to get benefits.
That's how we are.
Yeah.
And Tyler's in construction.
Yeah.
He doesn't have benefits.
Yeah.
So, and now
And we were both
business
in the
owners, so we're really going to have no benefits.
And
but
we
I'm
were
gonna
both
keep
in
my
the
job.
nonprofit world, no matter how much we loved what we were doing.
When I had Avery, I had to leave the art center.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough money.
Or no benefit. There were no
stability.
benefits.
There was nothing. I needed to keep growing towards something that was going to make me feel like there was even the possibility of A, affording school for her, and then B, groceries, and
just not
C,
upturning because 1 week went bad.
what if something bad happens,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and maybe the potential of taking a vacation.
Right?
Like, that had to be a
yeah.
priority.
Yeah.
It had to be.
Stability, it requires a lot of really uncomfortable choices right away. And in those choices, you might lose yourself and you have to decide how to rebuild from there.
But then also, I feel like when I left the art center, there was a lot of loss of community and a loss, not loss of friends, but a shift of friendships and how they looked because now I don't have the same amount of time. My schedule is different.
Yeah.
My priorities had to shift and I'm just getting pulled different ways. And that's a hard thing to realize when you do these career changes.
And to be forced into.
Yeah. And then there's also the reality of, like, I think about your birthday and your whole trip. All of us wanted to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
More
then
than
there's
anything.
the reality that we couldn't, like, our income is not to a point where we can afford to take trips without our families. We're going to try to prioritize doing them with our families.
Yeah,
which is
every
totally
single vacation
understandable.
for
Like,
me at the moment has to be because we're
with the
visiting
family.
someone. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like these different shifts and dynamics, and it's hard. And
very
we're
practical.
lucky that our friends understand that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the communication is a huge part of it, being very open about our realities and all of us being able to understand that.
I feel like a different weight too than just not just career, because some people's meaning goes in both. Like their career serves like their passion and their purpose, but like yours, you're like saying I can't pursue what I actually enjoy, and that's like a different weight than like, oh, I can't work my job anymore
No.
that I half like.
Right.
It's different. So like that's a particularly unique situation where you have artists that are
We're in such a
duking
unique,
it out over
yeah.
not really
Who's-
duking it out, but
whose industry makes more money.
yeah, like those like why that sucks that you have to look that up.
Yeah.
Because like for
Sad-
me and
sad
Tyler,
face.
I wouldn't say that my job currently is my passion.
Yeah.
Kind of just is a job.
Samesies.
Right? But then I would say the same about Tyler.
Yeah.
Construction is not
But
his
see, mine is
passion,
working in
right?
his, fully in his passion.
Yeah.
It's such a different dynamic.
It is. And then there has to be space for me to do things like this show.
Exactly.
There has to be something outside of that's why I think this has been so healing for me. This whole process is just like cathartic to walk through your whole experience again and like take stock of things. But it's also like it fulfills that purpose for me.
Yeah.
Like I like my job. I think it's great. There's lots of benefits to it. But again, yeah, it's not like my passion.
That's what you were born to do, Liberty.
Yeah.
And you will always do.
Yeah. And so and it's funny because I bring some of the same skills to some of the stuff that we're doing here, but like, yeah, this just is so much more meaningful for me. And we didn't have space for it. I didn't have
Right.
space for this. We did not have time
No.
that we could even dedicate and meet up together for a long time.
Yeah, it
Like,
took a long
Yeah.
time to get rolling.
friendship dates can be difficult. Like just
Very.
aligning our goddamn schedules. Like,
I know.
oh my
I
God.
know.
We created a calendar, but that shit's not going to get used, Brianna. Like,
I know you meant well.
I created
No
the
one's gonna
calendar.
I
fill
know
it
it
out.
meant well, but I don't
You have to fill
know.
it out. You have to fill it in. And I started to do it, and I was like, no one's going to do this.
I thought
I'm
at
not gonna
least
do it.
Abner might.
I'm going to waste my
haven't
time and be
opened
the one person that did it.
Come on.
it. I know you tried. And I know there's a lot of jokes online, like adult friendships and stuff.
just wanna
and then
hang
throw
out
in
with-
the kids, and you're like, and yeah, that's it.
Even
That's
just
it.
filming today.
And there can't be resentment held against that. I mean, it's hard,
Exactly.
right? I understand
No,
when there
it's
is, but it's like we're all doing the best we can.
And
it's
that's
not
tough
personal.
when
We're
you're
just-
entering like all of this. So we talked
processing.
about like the stress between spouses, but it's also tough when you're entering all of that with friends. Whether they do have a kid, that's tricky, or don't have a kid. And
Also
that's
tricky.
tricky. And what is going to change and how much allowance is in that friendship? I mean, you find out immediately.
Yeah.
And that is a friendship that is or isn't going to carry on. I unfortunately, when I was pregnant and had my son, I was 28, and none of my friends were also pregnant and had a kid. And I lived in Los Angeles. And so it was a complete culture shock for them and for me. And I had no support, no other new moms around me, which is why it took until me landing in Colorado close to my sister, a new mom, to find out I might have something physically wrong with me, because literally no one in my circle in Los Angeles was a parent or considering becoming a parent or anywhere close. And so in my world, there was very little grace, 5% grace, very little grace to how this transformed who I was, how it transformed my time and what I could and couldn't spend with you, and how I showed up to my time with you. There was just no understanding, and I lost a lot of friends. I had some very good ones that clung on very close and saw that me, the person, was transforming and wanted to be there for that transformation. And then there were a lot of people that I just didn't fit in their lives anymore and tried to shove me into that circle when I was a square, and I lost those.
Well, there's an emotional process that happens that takes you to a place that's very vulnerable. And some people are not cool with that level of vulnerability.
Exactly.
They're not ready for it. They're not like thinking about their emotional selves in that way.
And the thing is, when it
They
happens
can't really
to
help
you, when it happens to you, it feels devastating. But the further away you get from it, the more adult understanding you have of that person in that scenario.
Yeah.
The more you realize, I get that there wasn't that space for this change, and this change happened to me. But when you're in the depths of restructuring friendships because of this child, it's so overwhelming, and it can feel desperately lonely.
It's also a weird time where, like, when Tyler and I were trying, I had other friends that were trying at the same time or really wanted kids and still don't have kids. And then we had a kid. But then there were also friends who weren't trying, who got pregnant before us, that it was like, made me realize for a minute, am I a failure? but not really, you know? So it's
Yeah.
just all these mixed feelings.
And then it's how you all
And then
line
on
up and
top
keep,
of that, a career change.
yeah.
So then, like, all of a sudden it was like, wow, I don't even know who I am as a mom. And I'm trying to figure that out. And I have no more time. And I have a new job.
And who
And I
are my
have-
people?
And it felt like I just had to disappear for a while to even try to process what all of this meant.
Yeah.
And it's hard because, like, I absolutely hold no judgment towards people who couldn't understand that change, because I also didn't
Right.
understand it.
The more you grow, the more you.
And then there's also, you know, it's hard that people can't meet you where you're at and try to find grace with you. Like, there's just
it's
a whole mixture of
heartbreaking. It
things.
really is
Yeah.
heartbreaking when you're in such a desperate, vulnerable, exposed
It's not
place,
personal.
and your people can't see you or support you there. The people that were your support before, it can feel devastating and incredibly isolating. But I promise there are other people that you will find community with. If you've lost something in those relationships that felt crucial, you will be able to find it somewhere else. And I would just caution you to, like, use an abundance of grace with your friends whose lives didn't change.
Yeah. I think for the majority of what we've been talking about, we've been focused on like loss,
Yeah.
because that's what instigates the change, I
Yeah.
think, because you're changing. Ultimately, that's what we're talking about. Your metamorphosis and matrescence and all of that transition. So there's a gain as
Yeah.
well. There's another side to it where you start to see, like, okay, I can take my baby camping.
Yeah.
It doesn't look the same. It doesn't feel the same. I'm barely sleeping and I want to die. But also, hey, I made it out here.
and you
there's,
came
like,
with a
little
net
wins.
gain. Yeah.
Yeah. Or, you know, you start to see like, oh, it's totally fine if I don't stay up super late with everyone else around the campfire. And we go back to our like more secluded spot and sleep. Or not sleep.
Or you have another new mom
Or you
on that
go
camping
home.
trip who also goes to bed at that same time.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm not the only one this is happening to.
Yeah.
Like,
You
when
start
you're
to
in a
gain
friend group
things.
where it's not happening to anyone else, you can feel so alone.
Mm-hmm.
And just having one other person, like my sister was that for me.
Yeah.
It was like, this exact thing is happening to me too. I can't do this that I loved anymore either. Just
Yeah.
one person that understood.
Just the validation. And I
Yeah.
had many. Like I had you guys both. Which was like, oh my God, thank God. I don't know what it would have, like, if I were like in a different order and I was a Brianna, I don't know. I don't think.
First of your kind in the friend group. It
Nope,
was hard.
couldn't.
So friendships are going to shift. Please don't cut those friends off or judge them for reacting to this new reality the way that they are.
You just don't. You can't understand it until you go through it, and there's just no.
And that's
There's no
okay.
reason to be upset about that. It's fine.
Yeah, that they don't understand is okay. But then
Yeah.
you do need to shift towards at least finding one anchor point. Like you can find at the Grove.
Yeah. at Louise.
Just somebody else
Yeah.
going through it too.
Yeah.
And you do gain a lot. I like this concept of metamorphosis where there's still pockets of you and you gain a lot of. I think for me, being a mom, the biggest thing I gained was perspective and the actual meaning of things and what really matters and what doesn't matter. Because before that, you think you know, and then you have a kid and it's like that reality is shifted.
Yeah, like
It
you have
doesn't make it any less important. Like your reality before kids was important at the time, but then after a kid, it's different. It's
and
just
you had
different.
like a filtration system before and it just shifts.
Yeah. And that new
filter.
perspective and the ability to like share those moments with a kid, even talking about the camping is so huge. Just being able to share those experiences that you love so much with a little human is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time that you're able to do something successfully because you've tried it a couple times. Like we tried camping a couple times.
Camping
and
is especially a
we
beast.
have a super amazing situation where we can go camp less than 20 minutes away.
Seriously.
And it's just for, like, you can find something
you're isolated.
you're
Yeah,
20
gorgeous
minutes
remote.
away. So you can come back. Like we did that the first couple of times we went with her because we went a little early and it was like a little too cold and then we had to go home. And then the second time she didn't sleep well. And then the third time it was a little better. And then you go and then you keep going and then everyone's used to it and you've reached a point, but you have to like kind of push yourself
It is.
some point
Yes.
to
It
do
is.
the thing that feels really fucking hard.
It's
funny
practice.
when you, yeah.
It's practice.
It's funny when you're an avid camper, and
Which all
so
of us
and so
are.
you're like, okay, we should go out there. We should go gung ho.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, well, we should probably just hit apartments. Because what if it's a shit show?
It's
and you feel like a
true.
failure because you're like, Hartman's. I'm just going to drive my car out there and camp. Like, you just
Yeah,
feel
but
like
then you
you're
come
not
back from,
trying
like,
so hard.
The most disastrous camping
It's-
trip you ever did have.
It's still camping.
It's still camping. We're all avid campers, and so this is our best metaphor because you
Yeah.
really do lose a certain couple of years where you can't.
Yes, it
camp.
might be tame, but it's still camping.
But you're still you got out
and
there.
you have a backup plan for when it's a shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I just think about like, so we talked about becoming a different person, and I was trying to think about like what drives you feeling like a different person. And a lot of that driving my identity shift or the feeling that something got swept, like some rug got pulled out. I don't know. Like something's wrong, but I can't like put my feet back down was just the amount of like, so you have to take on like emotional labor, mental load, like, and again, we said we have a dedicated episode on mental load, so I won't go too far down that. But it's a lot of just overstimulation. You are used to caring for yourself. You now have an extension of yourself, essentially. They are dependent on you.
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily dependent on the father, right? Like it's a different relationship.
Not for
shaming
actual
anyone.
life. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you have this, and you're carrying this like sense of depth with you at the beginning. If you think about the difference between your experience as a mother and then maybe the experience that your partner is having, and like whether or not they're staying up with them at night, and like what their experience with them actually looks like matters, because you're maybe faced with these questions more like you're in these situations where you're asking yourself these questions like, well, why do I feel this way about this external pressure from someone expecting me to have my baby sleep immediately? Like it just really makes you have to be curious about your own beliefs. And then, so you have this like new weight on you, and then it makes you kind of out of sync with your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the
Because-
grief of losing that partnership, honestly.
Yeah.
And yourself.
Yeah.
And we both talked about this before. Like, is your partner experiencing this same pressure? Do they feel the same amount of need to self-sacrifice? Do they feel the same amount of loss? Is this just happening to me? Is this happening to us both? It's such a tricky time. I encourage you to communicate as much as you possibly can with your partner about these feelings,
Yeah.
about where you feel like you are sacrificing. If you feel like they aren't, talking to them about that and why society exists the way that it does. If you really want it to end up equal, you're gonna have to be blatantly honest.
And it's hard too because they might not feel like
They're not being asked.
they
Yeah, they're not being asked the same
and they
thing.
feel like they are sacrificing, but they don't understand
Yes.
how much you have sacrificed,
Also, yes.
and that it is a lot of times more than they have.
Yeah.
But in their eyes, they've sacrificed just as much because
But don't
they
let
don't
it get into
understand.
a pissing fight. A pissing fight's not going to
No.
help.
But they just, it's really hard to communicate that emotional loss. Also, keeping in mind that it's very hard for them to explain their emotional loss. So, both of you are going through that, and both of you are struggling to express it. And so, you got to find grace.
Yeah.
And it does
It's so
feel like
hard.
your loss is greater. Your loss is very different than theirs. And
But theirs is just as meaningful to
theirs
them.
is just as meaningful. And so you
To
have to
them.
Louise talked about this in our season
Which is
1.
valuable.
You really have to be curious. You cannot be curious with judgment. Like, why aren't you doing this thing? Not that kind of curious.
Yeah.
But like really legitimately wanting to know what your partner is experiencing too, and sharing what you're experiencing. Curiosity, genuine curiosity, not curiosity with any vitriol behind it, is going to get you through this time with your partner. And we're going to talk more about that in our mental load episode. But
Yeah. But you're like, you start to drift from each other. So there's like, if you think about, this is going to be generalizations, guys, so bear with me. Like men, not a lot of emotional demand is put on them,
Yeah.
like to manage their emotions or understand their emotions or intrinsically like question why they believe certain things. already starting from a different playing field than most women, right?
Right.
Like we're kind of we carry the emotional load already. We're expected to be more emotional. We're allowed to be more emotional openly. And so you're already starting from like a more emotional depth, not necessarily from a judgment standpoint, like, oh, men are shallow or whatever.
Right.
That's just like how we start, if I can generalize again. And then you're pushed into this place of more emotional depth. And then you're like, wait, I also have to take them with me because they don't see where I'm going. And then it's like so overstimulating, and you have mental load and emotional load, and you're still figuring out who the fuck you are. You let go of your spark. Like you're trying to maintain your relationships. Your job has changed. So as you can see, you're just kind of like, that's why you feel like a different person, because like I would snap in ways that I never did before. I would raise my voice. I would respond. I would turn into this version of myself that I had never seen. And that's because of all these things that are happening to you at the same time. So that's where like I feel like a different person. That's one aspect of it.
So much so.
And then your identity loss, and like then you gain, like I said, like there's a process, but it's just a lot. And so there's an increased demand on your partner. There should be, I think, to like show up differently, and that creates conflict. Sometimes it's really difficult to have those conversations, and we'll talk about that later. But
I think my way of handling it too was because he wasn't showing up in those ways that I needed him to, that the ways that he was showing up was just more draining. So I just started to avoid those moments. I started to try to remove myself from them because I just didn't have the time and space and capacity to handle it. I just was like, nope, if you can't show up in any other way, it is not my job to fix it for you. I can't be here anymore.
Yeah. They are going through their own upside down. They have been completely flipped. They cannot see you the way
and then
you
when
can
you
see you.
ask to be seen, and they feel like that's more pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then that can
They're
cause
not
a
doing
dynamic.
enough, and then it digs them further down into the upside down.
And you have to
So
build it
you
back
really
up.
have to you have to dig in without any accusations or any failures up front. I mean, men will react to this so hard if you're like, you're not meeting these needs. And so instead approaching them with like, this is how I'm feeling. How's it going for you? This is what I'm missing. What are you missing? Genuine curiosity is going to at least like ensure you have that partner through that you're both going through it together, that it's not one person causing another person strife, that you're both at least acknowledging the other person's in the upside down too.
And it doesn't
you're
happen
together.
right away. It takes time.
Yes, it does.
Ebbs and flows. It goes
Liberty
really
and I
well,
still
and then it gets
definitely
fucked
going
up.
through this hardcore.
Yeah. Hardcore.
Like,
We
I'm in
are-
a dip right now. I'm in a dip.
Yeah.
That's
we
what I was talking about.
are
Therapy.
at 12 and like we
We're in a dip.
have come back to the right side up.
We were good, and
Yeah.
now we're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I have confidence.
No, it takes a serious amount of time, well beyond toddlerhood,
Yeah.
It does.
to really learn how to approach with curiosity and acknowledge that loss has happened
On both
and
sides.
change has happened. It's not all loss.
And you may be experiencing grief that it's not happening faster.
Yeah.
Grief that you're still stuck in it and you're trying so
And that you'll
hard.
never get out of it.
You keep hoping. Yeah.
And like I would just say, I know that people's resources are all in different places, and access to those resources is hard for some. But if you can get, like we said, like a person that can hear you out and you feel less alone, and you can start to work through some of this, because it will weigh and it won't stop weighing. And it's going to destroy parts of you or things that don't need to be destroyed if you
Yeah.
don't start to look at the
Just
truth.
say it out loud, love.
It's going to
It's
come out.
Gonna go better.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm kind of like, I'm in it. I'm being very honest. Like, there's some shifts that have happened, and like, we need to navigate this now. It feels like you're kind of done, like, but not. I mean, you're never done. But like at 3 is real hard.
Yeah.
3 was the worst.
3 is worse than 2s. I don't know where the terrible 2s came from.
And the
They're
thing is,
adorable when they're
I don't
2.
think it comes
They're just
down
poopy pee-pee
to
everywhere. Like
these- I don't think it comes down to these tropes of like,
No.
oh, your kid is a terrible 2 or a
No,
3-nager
no, no.
3.
I don't even think it was the kid.
It's not what's happening
it was
with the kid.
relationship
No, it's
at
the
3.
demand that having the kid, like, they're
It is not what the
maturing.
kid is doing.
It is not.
No. But like, you're also learning about them, and they are having different more mature emotional things happening to them. Therefore, you have to level up to that.
You're confronted
to be
with your
able to
own.
teach them anything about themselves and how to manage their emotions, you have to start to understand your own. That's where that starts to happen
Yep.
at 3. That's my theory, is why it's so difficult.
And then you need your partner to
Because it
start
creates that
coming
rift.
along with that growth.
And either they stay and they're like, nah, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Because
Or
legit,
that-
some partners are not ready.
Yeah.
And whenever they're ready, it'll start to resolve itself. But
Well, they're trying like hell, but they're fighting it.
they don't
their
see that
instinct
they're
is fighting against it. And so then they're in their hole while you're in
Yeah.
yours. But one of you has to grow up and take care of the kid.
Beat the
It's
trauma.
Usually us.
Yeah.
Just trying to get through it.
To beat the trauma
Yeah.
and do them better
Yeah.
and not get crippled by it in a way that's going to affect our kids.
And you can't lift both of them up.
Exactly.
So you just keep going.
You lift the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
And
is
then
hard,
there's
guys.
resentment
hard.
that builds there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything changes, and everything, the way you think about yourself changes. Yeah. So I think there's also an aspect of identity that is unique to Gunnison, and that it's a small town. So any small town doesn't have to be Gunnison, where like you exist in this small world where like everyone kind of knows who you are. Like you guys worked at the art center, and people had an expectation of who you were, and I probably had an expectation that you would get back to that person.
Yeah.
Like we were saying. And so in a small town, it's like harder to escape that expectation, I feel like. So I don't know if there's anything you guys want to say about like being in Gunnison and going through this process of metamorphosis and seeing the same people all the time. Did you feel like a different pressure, or do you think that's not relevant?
Yes. And especially because we moved Evan out of Los Angeles where literally no one's paying attention,
Yeah.
to somewhere where people very much are. And the kids that your kid is in preschool with are still the kids they're in junior high with. It creates a very specific pressure cooker. And then in a town like this, like a lot of it comes down to recreation and how your kid spends their free time. And that's kind of the pressure cooker, is like how extreme they are or developed they are in their outside of school time. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't say school is seriously prioritized here,
It's like skiing.
but like how they recreate is.
yeah.
And in those ways, like how we were, because we came from Los Angeles, so we weren't really that family to begin with. I felt those pressures and those eyes immediately, and like wanting to shift who we are, but then not. And I'm glad we didn't, because now my kid will be like, I'm listening to Wicked, I can't hear you. Like we're such a Broadway art family. It's so beautiful. But in the beginning, yes, the extreme pressure that I felt on milestones and peer pressure and parent pressure
Having to keep up.
was
That's how
keeping
we
up
feel.
in this like fitness area or outdoor area.
I felt that before I had a kid, where I was like, oh, I need to be more extreme, or I'm a piece of shit. And then I let that go after a while.
It was especially tough moving from where we moved from. Where like no one would have given two shits what we did with our kid. It could have been anything, and they would have been like, in your power. To here, where it was like being a parent looks a really specific way, and
A
we
good
just
parent.
parent differently.
We felt that way about having to get out and hike with your kid, your
Yeah.
baby, strap it on, get ready, go.
Do the loop,
Go.
yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't do any of that.
Camping.
And then now I feel the pressure. I think with Avery, it was like riding her bike. We went to the Gunny Grinder races, and all of her friends were already riding bikes with no training wheels or anything. And I was like, I haven't even gotten there yet. Oh
So
my
it-
God, Avery feels like a failure around these friends of hers.
It's such a nuanced
So I
failure.
forced her, like I got her that summer riding her bike.
Yeah,
So she felt like she could keep up with her friends, which I'm just like, that's insanity.
it's a nuanced
Because I
isolation
didn't learn
here.
how to ride a bike till I was
Most
like
kids are
6
riding
or
their bikes
7.
by 3.
And
Yeah,
Avery-
exactly.
Yes. What is that?
It's Strider into a pedal. It's
Yeah,
just
they're
easy,
down
you
at
know?
the river. They're on their
Crazy.
paddle boards. Like that, I would say specifically
know.
that's a genre I don't live. I'm just
I
not
know,
that
I know.
as I paddleboard every weekend.
And I think
but
I think that's where I'm at now, is trying to let go of that.
That was
because
my
her
biggest
friends
pressure here.
Have different interests too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we put Avery into junior golf. Not everybody puts their kid in junior golf. Tyler's really into golf.
yeah,
Same with skiing. We're kind of the not idiots. We're like kind of the crazy people who got our kids skiing young, but all of our friends are already doing that. It's like insanity.
Yeah.
The mountain biking one was one that we're not big mountain bikers. We don't have the fancy mountain bikes.
exactly.
You got to choose one, man.
It's gonna
You
be
can't have
okay, you know?
skis and mountain bike. Like
I
the
can't do it
cost.
all.
Yeah,
But-
I have to say that's the biggest pressure in this valley to me, and this remote and this rural, is that what this community cares about is so singular. Or that's what it feels like.
It feels
It's
like it,
singular.
yeah.
It isn't, and we have found our pocket.
It feels like there is a right way.
yes.
And so you're like,
is
I
a
have to
right
get her
way.
in
This
skiing.
is
Like
what
we're behind. We're
kids
behind.
here.
Quote
Yeah.
We're
unquote,
behind.
behind on skiing.
Yeah.
Where like she can still get on skis and be
Or on their
fucking
mountain
amazing.
bikes, or
at age 5. Like we didn't get past this season, like,
Or like you
we'll
had to
figure it
stop
out. But there
camping
is a little
between
bit of
3 and
me.
4.
I know.
Yes.
I know. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
There's a little bit of me that's like, yeah, I do feel behind.
Yeah, that
But,
was
like-
my biggest pressure here.
But all of
Oh,
the
well.
things are communal. Like the swimming lessons, you see all the same kids at.
yeah.
The biking lessons, all the same kids. Dance lessons, all the same kids. And there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
But it's just this constant, oh, your kid's doing that, mine is too. You're not in it. Why aren't you?
And there's also
It's
kids
really
that are
weird.
like going pro here. There are kids that aren't in school because they're
know.
pro at sport, whatever their sport is. But it does feel like that is the collective goal of this valley, and our kids feel that, and our parents.
So for all the
feel
moms
that.
out there from Gunny that are listening, and you all feel the same way we do,
You just
let's all
just take a
admit that
moment.
we're all feeling this way, and it's okay.
just want to sleep on a
okay.
Sunday and
Yes.
not hike, do it.
Let it
Do
go.
it.
Let it go. Yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
all right. Would this be a good place to
I
wrap us
know.
up?
I
I
think
think so.
so.
That was a great episode. And we're going to dig in to our interview soon and our special episode about mental load. So if you have anything you want to add, please follow us on Instagram. It's ITA_village_pod. And I promise you will get the most information out of following us there. So,
And I will try to make more funny posts.
yes,
I
please.
always say I will, and then I don't, and I need to just focus
do.
on doing it.
So follow us on Instagram. You can find our Google form in the link tree in our bio, and give us a follow, give your input, please. If you don't want us to use your name, you can tell us that in the form. There's a spot for it, and we would love to share whatever you think. We'll have a special episode for that this season too. I just want to give it a little bit of a teaser. We're going to have a very special episode. Last season, we had our special episode with Lana, and this season, we will be just kind of talking about women's journeys that don't look like ours.
All my single ladies.
Yeah.
All my single ladies.
So we want to hear from a lot of different perspectives. And if you want to give us a follow on Instagram.
Awesome.
Okay. With
Thanks
that,
for being here. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
and you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.